We want to solve the equation 7/4 x plus 1/8 equals 1/12. The solution is a value of x that satisfies the equation, which means the solution is a value of x that makes the expression 7/4 x plus 8 equal to 1/12. In order to solve for x, we need to isolate x on one side of the equation, but because the equation contains fractions, we first need to decide whether we want to solve the equation with the fractions in it or multiply both sides of the equation by the least common denominator, or at least a common denominator, to clear the fractions from the equation before solving. In this video, we will be clearing the fractions before solving the equation. And therefore, we need to determine the least common denominator, which is the least common multiple of 4, 8, and 12, which would also be the smallest number that's divisible by 4, 8, and 12. And because the least common denominator is 24, we will clear the fractions by multiplying both sides of the equation by 24. We could multiply both sides of the equation by any common denominator, but by multiplying by the least common denominator, there'll be less simplifying later. And now let's go ahead and show each product. So on the left side we have 24 times 7/4 x plus 24 times 1/8 equals, on the right, we have 24 times 1/12. Because each product involves a fraction, let's write 24 as a fraction with the denominator of 1. And I will simplify before multiplying by simplifying out any common factors between the numerators and denominators. Notice here 4 and 24 share a common factor of 4. There's 1 4 and 4 and 6 4s and 24. The product is now 6 times 7x, which equals 42x, plus 8 and 24 share a common factor of 8. There's 1 8 and 8 and 3 8s and 24. The product is now 3 times 1, which equals 3. So we have plus 3 equals, on the right side, again simplifying, 12 and 24 share a common factor of 12. There's 1 12 and 12, 2 12s and 24. The product is now 2 times 1, which equals 2. Notice now we have an equation that does not contain fractions. So we want to solve the equation 42x plus 3 equals 2. This is a basic two-step equation, so our next step is to undo this addition by performing the inverse or opposite operation in order to isolate the variable term 42x. And therefore, to undo plus 3, we will subtract 3 on both sides of the equation. And now we'll simplify both sides. Subtracting 3 undoes plus 3, or 3 minus 3 equals 0. So on the left side, we now just have 42x equals, on the right side, we have 2 minus 3, which is the same as 2 plus negative 3, which gives us negative 1. Because 42x means 42 times x, in order to solve for x, we need to undo this multiplication by performing the inverse or opposite operation. And therefore, to undo multiplying by 42, the next step is to divide both sides by 42. Dividing by 42 undoes multiplying by 42, and therefore the left side simplifies to x, or 42 divided by 42 equals 1, and 1 times x is x. On the right side, we have the fraction negative 1 42nds. And because the fraction does not simplify, we have our solution. Our solution is x equals negative 1 42nds. Before we go, though, let's verify our solution by making sure this value of x does satisfy the equation. So we'll substitute negative 1 over 42 for x. Performing the substitution, we would have 7/4 times negative 1 over 42 plus 1/8 equals 1/12. Let's evaluate the left side of the equation on the calculator to make sure it is equal to 1/12. So we have 7/4 times negative 1 over 42 plus 1/8. Enter. To convert to a fraction, we press Math, Enter, Enter. Notice how the left side is equal to 1/12. So we have 1/12 equals 1/12, which is true, verifying our solution is correct. I hope you found this helpful.